Welcome back to Physics Short Classes. In this video lecture, we are going to discuss about dimensions of physical quantities from chapter 2, units and measurement. If you are visiting this channel for the first time, subscribe the channel in order to watch interesting and informative videos. Students, dimensions of a physical quantities is very important concept. Whatever we are going to discuss in this lecture should be inculcated throughout your life. First, let us consider the meaning of dimension of a physical quantity. The dimension of a physical quantity are the powers to which the base quantities are raised to represent that physical quantity. There are 7 dimensions in the physical world, which are the dimension of length, mass, time, temperature, current, amount of substance, and luminous intensity. But in mechanics, length, mass, and time are more than sufficient. Let us consider 3 different examples to understand the meaning of dimension of a physical quantity. First, let us consider the dimension of velocity, which is a derived quantity, but still it can be expressed in terms of fundamental quantity. And it is given by velocity is equal to length by time. The above expression will be mentioned like the dimension of the velocity 1 in length, 0 in mass, minus 1 in time. These powers 1, 0 or minus 1, they are the dimensions. Let us consider one more example, acceleration, which is equal to velocity divided by time. Therefore, the acceleration has the dimension of 1 in length, again 0 in mass, minus 2 in time. Similarly, when we consider the force, which is equal to mass into acceleration, the force has a dimension of 1 in length, 1 in mass, minus 2 in time. Now let us understand the meaning of dimensional formula and dimensional equation. The dimensional formula of a physical quantity is the expression that shows how and which of the base quantities represent the dimension of physical quantity. Here, which means which of the base quantities are used, like length, mass or time. How means what power they are raised. Let us consider this example of velocity, which has dimension of 1 in length, 0 in mass and minus 1 in time, which we have already discussed. But the dimensional formula will involve all the dimensions written inside the square bracket. Similarly, the dimensional formula for acceleration is 1 in length, 0 in mass, minus 2 in time enclosed within square bracket. Similarly for the force. Now let us consider the dimensional equation. The dimensional equation of a physical quantity is the equation obtained by equating physical quantity with its dimensional formula. We already know the dimensional formula for velocity, acceleration and force. If you equate dimensional formula with the physical quantity itself, that will be known as dimensional equation. Look at the example. Velocity enclosed within square bracket equal to its dimension. It is the dimensional equation. Similarly for acceleration and force. Now let us consider the dimensional analysis. The principle of homogeneity in dimensions has a very important role and it states that all the terms in an equation must have same dimension. Let us elaborate with the help of an example. Five physical quantities are involved: A, B, C, X, and Y. But there are four different terms in that equation. The terms are those which are connected by addition or subtraction. We have to remember that all these five physical quantities involved may not have same dimension, but each term, that is product of A and B, square root of C, square of X and Y, they must have the same dimension. Only those physical quantities can be added or subtracted which have the same dimensions. It is similar to the algebra. When magnitudes of two or more physical quantities are multiplied, their units should be treated in the same manner as ordinary algebraic symbols. If dimensions of the terms are not the same, then equation is wrong. If the two terms in a given equations are not having the same dimension, then it is obviously a wrong equation. So that's what the principle of homogeneity in dimension says. It has found many applications. We are going to study only two of those applications. The first one is checking the consistency of equation. Using the dimension analysis, we can find out whether a given equation is correct or wrong. Let us understand it with help of two examples. The first one, consider the expression which is used in kinematics given by x is equal to v naught t plus half a t square, where x is the distance traveled, v naught is the initial velocity, t is the time, a is the acceleration. Here we are going to find out that whether this equation is dimensionally correct or not. So what are the steps involved? We need to write the dimension of each term. That means we need to write the dimension for x, v naught into t, and half a t square. These are the three terms in the given equation. So one by one. X has the dimension of length, 1 in length. V naught t, initial velocity, has a dimension of 1 in length minus 1 in time. Time has dimension of 1 in time. So therefore, combining them, we will get L. That means V naught t also has the dimension of 1 in length. Next, when we consider dimension of half a t square, acceleration has a dimension of 1 in length minus 2 in time, and time has dimension of 1 in time. When it is squared, then it will be 2 in time. Combining them, we will get again the dimension of half a t square is equal to 1 in length. All the three terms involved in the equation has same dimension. Therefore, above equation is dimensionally consistent. Hence, we can say that it may be correct equation. Consider another example. mgh is equal to half mv square. Potential energy equal to kinetic energy. If you write dimension of each term, mgh, mass, acceleration due to gravity, and height, which is nothing but length. The dimension of mgh is, which is the dimension of energy, it will be 1 in mass, 2 in length, minus 2 in time. Similarly, when we consider half mv square, dimension of mass into dimension of velocity squared, which is again is equal to 1 in mass, 2 in length, minus 2 in time. Therefore, both the terms have same dimension. It is dimensionally consistent. Therefore, it may be a correct equation. Another application of dimensional analysis is deducing relation among physical quantities. Let us understand this with help of an example. Derive the expression for the time period t of a simple pendulum, imagining that it depends on its length, mass, and acceleration due to gravity. Students, carefully watch the steps involved. The first step is to establish the relation between the physical quantities which should be related. T is a time period. It is related to the length, acceleration due to gravity, and mass. So therefore, we are raising them to some powers. Here, we have raised length to the power of x, acceleration due to gravity to the power of y, and mass to the power of z. K is a proportionality constant. Our objective is to find the values of these powers. To find out the relation, we have to write dimensions of each term or each physical quantity. Dimension of time should be equal to dimension of L raised to x into dimension of g raised to y into dimension of m raised to z. The dimension of the time should be 0 in mass, 0 in length, but 1 in time. But when we consider the dimension of length, it is 1 in length. Since L is raised to power x, so therefore we are raising the power of length to x. Similarly, acceleration due to gravity, that is 1 in length minus 2 in time. It will be raised to the power y. Mass has a dimension of 1 in mass, which is raised to power z. We can see that the value of k does not appears in the equation because it is a proportionality constant. It has nothing to do with dimensional analysis. Now, combining the dimensions on right hand side, it will be z in mass, x plus y in length minus 2y in time. If we compare the dimensions of mass, length, and time on both sides of the equation, we will get z equal to 0, minus 2y equal to 1, x plus y equal to 0. We will get the values of x is equal to half and y is equal to minus half. If we substitute the values of x and y in the first equation, t is equal to k into L to the power of half and g to the power of minus half into mass to the power of 0. The mass vanishes. The equation that we will get is t equal to k into square root of L by g. Even though we have wrongly assumed that the time period of the simple pendulum depends on the mass of the ball, the dimensional analysis has corrected our mistake. There are limitations to the dimensional analysis. Correct equations are dimensionally correct, but dimensionally correct equations are not necessarily correct equation. To deduce relation, maximum of 3 physical quantities are allowed. In mechanics, we are restricting ourselves to the 3 base quantities. That's why if we compare the dimensions, then we will get only 3 equations. It is not applicable to deduce the relations involving addition or subtraction. It is not applicable to dimensionless quantities like phi, refractive index, specific gravity, etc. It is not applicable to equations involving logarithmic functions, exponential functions, and trigonometric functions because these are dimensionless. Students, thank you for watching this video.